More videos of Rashida Strober. She says she's the only dark-skinned woman movement in the entire world. Ever. Ever. This is what she says. She's the only one ever. This woman has taken rhetoric from the 1960s and just changed the script around, but it's the same play. She's only taking that stuff and adding it now. She changed it. It used to be for black power. The stuff she talks about is originally black power, black people this and black people that. She just took the same shit from the 60s and she's pointing it towards black women. What she's doing is nothing new. She's the only, she calls her shit a movement. What movement? Rashida, what movement do you have? There's no movement. The only time I see you is on YouTube. And the only reason why everybody sees you on YouTube, you say I'm all over the internet. You post 1 million fucking videos a week. Who's not gonna see you? But you don't have much of a movement. You started this more than 10 years ago. I followed a lot of your shit. You really haven't moved much. What movement? You don't have like a bunch of women out there, yeah, dark power and all this shit. You don't have none of that. When I hear about black people in the streets or black, light skin versus dark skin, nobody's saying your fucking name. Nobody's saying, hey, Rashida Strober started it. Because most smart people, most intelligent people do their homework. And they know you didn't start this movement. And I seen one of your videos that you're saying people are copying you. You are copying. You're the one who's doing the plagiarism. You are plagiarizing. You just changed the script. You changed the script. Rashida, you know what you're doing. You changed the script, but it's the same play. It's the exact same play. You're just putting this stuff toward a specific, the women. You're not doing anything new, honey. We've heard this 1 million times before. I was born in the late 60s. So I went through the 70s seeing this shit and hearing this shit. You're doing nothing new. Nothing. And you don't have much of a movement, hon. You haven't moved in 10 years. In 10 years. You're talking like you got fucking marches and rallies. You don't got nothing. You've got nothing. You've got a dirty mouth. And when people don't agree with you, you say the word fuck and motherfucker about 100 times in each post that you put on there. You're not doing anything new. Your name is not in the streets. The only time people see you, you're much of your following, even women think you're crazy, which is okay. And anybody can do what you're doing. Anybody can do what you're doing. I could start a fucking movement. I could start the dark Hispanic mixed black tattooed movement, and I'm sure I'll probably get more of a following than you did. But I'm not that bored. I have a lot of shit to do. I have a job. So I don't have time to sit at home and just fucking make videos all day and try to sell some stupid book. You're a very self-hating person. You're very self-hating. And you want people to feel the way you do. You want black women. You're encouraging other dark black women to feel the same way you do. Because they're not thinking about it. But you're putting it in their heads. You want them to feel like you do. Because then you'll have more of a purpose. And then maybe you'll sell more books. But, Rashida, you're not really moving forward. You're kind of frozen. You're just right there. You're right there. You really haven't done much. I think it's more for attention now. I think maybe one time you started this thing and you were serious about it and you saw what kind of feedback you're getting. Even if it's negative feedback, you fucking love it. Because no attention, some attention, bad attention. Attention is better than no attention to you. This is what I think. So you talk like you got this, like you're Miss Martin Luther King, and you're not. Black people, you know what? Even in the 60s when this stuff was going on, it really hasn't moved forward, this black, light-skinned thing. Because, even in Hollywood, there are more famous dark-skinned black actors than there are light-skinned. Look it up. Way more. So, sometimes what you say doesn't make a lot of sense. But you want it to make sense. But it only really makes more sense to you than it does anybody else. Because most people don't give a shit. And don't think because people viewed your videos, you got videos that are posted for a year and you only have like a few hundred views or 1,000 views. If your movement was that important, you would have views like Mr. Tommy Sotomayor. Because each view he has 30,000, 40,000, sometimes a few 100,000. So if your movement was that important and you think it's so big the way you talk about it, and you're the only one in the world, let's say the universe doing it, your views just don't add up with your so-called movement. Black people don't give a shit about what you're talking about. They just don't care. They didn't care in the 60s and 70s, and they don't care now. They just enjoy watching your videos because they like to see you make a foul-mouthed jerk out of yourself. They don't care. Blah!